どんな要件だろうと私がモスティマを捕まえてからにして。あの大バカ、私の魚団子に唐辛子を入れるなんて絶対わざとだから。どきなさい。止めても無駄よ。今日こそ一発入れてやらないと気が済まないわ。立ったまま寝るなんて、しかもまるで起きてるみたい。昔学校で授業中に居
Good
眠りして
morning,
た連中
Avalon,
よ
and
り
no, I
一
am
枚
not
上手
sleeping
ね。
standing up suffering. Oh, thank God she stopped. Second time. Good morning, Avalon. No, I am not sleeping standing up for the second time. Just making sure stream is going fine, because last stream, I will mention, I did notice tiny little things as far as the what would you call it? Forgive me, even now I'm trying to look at stream, make sure things are running well. Things seem to be good now. Of course, if things seem off, please tell me. It helps me. No, what I'm looking at is making sure Avalon is running okay, because the last stream that we did, which was chapter 11, there were some points in time where it seemed like textures were still loading in. So for example, when we would be reading the dialogue, if a character shows up and they disappear, but the background stays the same, where that character just was, where they disappear behind them, the background will seem like it's almost like what would be the word? Texturized, like low quality. And then immediately, like 1 second later, it loads in the rest as if it was like it's supposed to be, basically. And it did that from time to time, and I wasn't sure what was going on. Did some research, got some things I think figured out, which I hope is going to be okay now. Of course, I'll have to monitor things, check in every now and then, but it shouldn't hinder our gameplay. And that is chapter 12, All Quiet Under the Thunder. But intro, is there really anything to talk about? But then again, I guess I shouldn't say that. Intro. I guess I don't do react streams. I did end up seeing the what's it called? The new Arknights event that we will be streaming on Saturday, which is, I believe, today's Monday, which is the 7th. So I believe, I don't know why I'm trying to calculate this in my head. Saturday, November the 11th, we will be streaming the new Arknights event. all in one day, which I can probably figure out the name right now. 3, 2, 1. Side story. The new side story event, Lone Trail, which takes place, or well, sorry, not takes place. We'll be picking right back up with Ryan's Lab and what's been going on with them. And then obviously, if you have seen the trailer, if you haven't, spoilers. But I'm just gonna get into it. Spoilers if you haven't seen the new trailer of the operators. If I'm pronouncing her name right, Ho Heliak, the mercenary and or the enemy from the last Ryan's Lab side story event, or well, yeah, I guess it'd be a side story event and or event, either or. She is an operator under Rhodes Island now, although I'm sure it's under mercenary terms, and she's being hired, not actually as like a full-time Rhodes Island member, but nonetheless, she's under Rhodes Island now. She will be available. We finally get the other Ryan's Lab operator that has not been with us, but we have seen for a very good long time, since the start of Arknights almost. I believe her name is Mulesses, I believe. Like either the leader or the co-leader of Ryan's Lab, their little squadron. With Dorothy, Saria, Silence, Ifrit, and I'm sure there's another that I'm forgetting. I'm trying to think of these right off the top of my head. But yeah, well, I've obviously seen the trailer. I actually, well, I shouldn't even go into too much detail as far as like what we're doing for the stream, because I mean, I'll do all that at the time, which is Saturday, of course. But yeah, we'll be doing that on Saturday, obviously. As far as like anything else, Fake Grand Order, I already mentioned. We are waiting for the live stream, which I believe is on Friday, I believe, where they're going to announce the new Gouda Gouda, which we still have no date for. But then again, like I said, I guess I could do research. Oh, I guess it's only said, oh. Okay, never mind. I can't do research. I take that back. I believe the stream is on Friday. Either Friday or during the weekend. But assuming that Gouda Gouda will start the week next week. Not this one, but next week. We'll obviously be streaming that, and we'll be doing that on the back end. And you're probably wondering what's on the back end. If you haven't been watching stream, we've already mentioned it, but we will be streaming our next variety game, which is Spider-Man 2. And yes, I've said this before, repeating everything. I have played Spider-Man 1, and that was during our beginnings when we were trying to get Avalon up and running before stream was set up and whatnot. And yes, Spider-Man 1 was amazing. Miles Morales expansion was okay. It was something to do, but the main game Spider-Man 1 was amazing. It was very clean and clear. As far as lore goes, it wasn't that bad, honestly. They did a really good job, so I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man 2. And then hearing from random people while at the same time avoiding spoilers, I'm hearing good comments, so I am really looking forward to that, which we will most likely be starting on, I believe, a Monday, possibly. If not, maybe Saturday, depending on how quickly we get through Chapter 12, All Quiet Under the Thunder, Arknights, which we're currently doing. Return to Mist took 3 streams to finish. All Quiet Under the Thunder, I would assume would be the same, but then again, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's pretty much what's planned, although I've kind of already said that from last stream. Anything else? I'm ready to move on, mainly because we are running late. As always, your king is always running late, but I nonetheless do make it. Besides the intro, do we... Okay, I guess I wasn't expecting to just hop right in it. I'll let the cutscene speak for me. If you haven't already, watch Chapter 11. Spoilers for Chapter 12, by the way. But then again, I don't know why you would be watching this. Oh, sorry, let me get it. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So that ship, okay, so that ship that she just exited was the Regent, I believe. I'm not very sure when it comes to like titles and whatnot, like what exactly the Regent is. I would imagine that's like Regent is more or less like leader of said group. Theresis or Teresis. I need to do research. I need to figure out if I'm saying his name right. Theresis or Teresis. That was his ship. That was the main fleet of the Sarkaz that she exited. So it makes me question, one, why is she on there? Two, is this going to be like a... I'm curious what's going to happen in this chapter with the story. Because from chapter 11, where we left off, we were basically retreating. Because our wife got... I don't want to say cut in half, but she more or less got Getsuga Tensho'd by Teresis. Yeah, we were pretty much on the retreat. That was more or less where we left off. And then Siege and or Vina got the Size of Kings, the sword. And I don't believe we met up with her yet. I think she's still with her Glasgow gang. So what I'm getting at is maybe this story, this chapter and or episode, I guess, takes place before these events, and we're picking up with Ainz and what's happened, possibly. Or maybe this is what's happening as we're retreating. But then again, I should let the game itself speak for that. Of course, we'll probably not get her this stream, and it'll have to be next stream. But the new operator, as far as getting through to through the story, I believe her name is Morgan, the next Glasgow gang member. We are getting. That is a 5-star guard, I believe, and or her trait, right? Her trait is Lord. So well, to use an example, a better example, she's basically Thorns. Logistics special permit. Read this very quickly. After usage, the current combat op will not consume sanity, and the normal regular drops are changed to guaranteed drops of 3 times quantity. Usage method: in any 3-starred stage in All Quiet Under the Thunder with auto deploy available, the logistics special permit can be used in the first 2 battles daily. Okay, so it's basically like free stuff. Interesting. And we have 1 hour to use it. Okay. Not feeling rushed at all. Cleaner's Collection. A box of personal effects treasured by a cleaner wandering Norport Borough. The box contains many ownerless objects collected from Tattered District. Perhaps it can help you uncover the dark side of the city buried beneath the dust of the battlefield. And then milestone reward. Then as you can see, there's Morgan of the Glasgow gang, which is you would contact her through her boss. Her boss being Siege, aka Vina, aka Alexandrina. If you'd like to teach a lesson to anyone on your nerves, the Street Fight expert is a smart choice. And then basically raising her potential. 12:17 is when we get her. Yeah, okay. That is gonna be a while. Yeah, it's probably it's most likely gonna be next stream that we get her. But then again, seeing that we're going to 12:20, it might be our last stream of chapter 12 that we'll get her. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how Friday goes. If your king is late again, I'll try not to be. Okay, getting into it. Of course, I do this every time before we start a actual combat node or stage. I'll repeat what I say every time about what we do when it comes to event and or story squads. What we do with that. But first we have dialogue, obviously, and or story. Chapter 12, Section 1, Heat Wave. The soldier seems to like the hot wind blowing on the deck. It reminds him of the warmth of the fire when cooking supper back home. Forgive me. New red wheat seeds, a bird and beast saddle. Mill operation unit looking for previously owned. Spine massager. May need to mail order. 2 woolen coats. Swinton's tailor shop. Dad's needs its hem trim short. I hate when stuff like that happens. I don't know if it's my actual game that's glitching or if it's actually supposed to... You all saw that, right? I'm not... The Romance of Ives crossed out. I said, I forgot. Grab some cheap candy to tide the kids over. Ask George if you can borrow his medal. Oh, very quickly. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, we should be good. Sorry, just checking. Checking stream. Something I was just thinking about, and I always forget, because we were behind as far as the story chapters go. I forgot. Chapter 11, what happens after chapter 11 technically isn't chapter 12. It is, but technically isn't, because we did have the side story event with Reed Alter and or her older sister. I think her name was Dalula or Dilula, I believe, unless I'm making that name up. Or, well, I guess AKA the leader of Dublin. That did happen. And Chen and I know her name. I said it last stream. What was her name? The Victorian girl, the Bagpipe. Chen and Bagpipe ended up, I believe, seeing her and helped her out a little bit while departing. And then by the end of the event, Reed more or less kind of found her way and decided to walk along her big sister's footsteps, but by achieving that goal a different way, through better means, while her sister is doing it through a little more extreme ways. And then after that, I believe, is when you can say that chapter 12 is actually, like, you know, picking up. Like, the story is continuing. Sorry, so what I'm getting at is, I think the ship that we are currently on, unless it's the Sarkaz ship that we saw in that intro cutscene, Theris's ship, I think this ship is that commander that we did see at the end of Reed Alter's story, that was with the leader, Reed's older sister, by the end, because there was a bunch of cruise ships or battleships that ended up showing up at the shores of some town. I was gonna say Victoria, but I mean, Victoria is like an entire country. Oh, sorry. Sorry to cut in. if you are, well, I mean, I guess you could go to Twitter to get a short answer, but if you are curious about whether or not to poll for Eins, we did do a operator summary or review of Eins. I believe it was first stream, the first part of chapter 11. We did do a character overview, and or, well, I guess, would it be overview or review? An operator summary of Eins, I guess you could say. In our first part of chapter 11, which there are timestamps, so if you want to go to that, you can actually look in the description of the live stream and or video and see that there's a timestamp where I start talking about it. We do a review of it. If you want a short, quick answer that goes down 4 of the main points of each, what a player is and should you roll for her, if you go to my Twitter, you'll immediately see a picture or an image of Eins, and that itself is a tweet. And yes, I'm gonna shout myself out. Twitter, JuliusFae _ JuliusFae_. Of course, you should already know that. But if you go to my Twitter and scroll down and see an image of Eins, that tweet is that short summary of should you poll. So if you're questioning that, there you go. Because I forget that this story chapter is the chapter that Eins got released. The veteran officer grins, showing a mouthful of yellow teeth. That's wonderful. The young soldier laughs dryly. He knows this is one of the officer's many poor jokes. This ship that I'm seeing is hard to tell. I can't tell if this is the same ship that was, that's the Sarkaz ship that was flying in the air, or if this is maybe the cruise ship of that commander that's with the leader. And then 2 additional things is I can't tell if it's actually on the ground or if it's hovering off the ground. But it looks big enough to be it. The wind is so strong on the deck that the soldier has to hold on to the brim of his hat, letting out a loud yet harmless sneeze. No matter the season or weather, standing on the deck of a prancing high-speed battleship always makes one want to wrap himself in his coat. The young soldier thinks to himself, Wells is in charge today. How many cans of rations did that pudgy, bold man swipe? But the creamy vegetable chowder he makes is without equal, and if fortune is on his side, that old bastard might even throw in a healthy serving of foul beast into the soup. He figures that he should leave after the sun sets and he finishes dinner. The mobile fortress... Okay, mobile fortress. The mobile fortress they are stationed in has already reached Londinium's vicinity. When the weather is clear, they can even see the pinnacle of the shard on the horizon. Okay, I don't think this is the Sarkaz ship. Because the mobile fortress they are stationed in has already reached Londinium's vicinity. The ship was already, like, stationed at Londinium, like at the center of Londinium, or I guess you could say, well, actually, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. I think I'm starting to piece things together now. I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun while at the same time going back a few steps. Okay, I'm making so many assumptions on such little information. So what I think is happening is this is the ship of the Sarkaz, even though I just said this most likely isn't. I think this is the ship heading towards Londinium, while we, in Chapter 11, were already in Londinium. And at the end of the chapter, when we finally see that giant ship in the sky, I believe that's when this ship that we're currently seeing on screen finally reaches Londinium. And with that cutscene in mind, where Ainz jumps out of the window of the ship, I think this is basically taking place in the past, where this ship was and what Ainz was doing, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry. God, there's more. I'm getting engrossed into the dialogue. This happens every time. Here, I'll start reading. Where were we? Okay. After returning to the station, he'd board the logistics squad's transport vehicle and head to the nearest town first, where he'd be able to have a drink or two at the tavern. In the early morning, there'd be cobblers heading into town to sell their wares. 2 boxes of tobacco would let them hitch a ride. The young soldier recalls those barns from back home, always filled with the fermented smell of composted straw. Even now, that smell occasionally wafts to him in his dreams, making him want to pinch his nose, but at the same time it represents a connection with his hometown. If it only occurs occasionally, then so be it. He furrows his brow quietly, deciding not to continue deluding himself with these sentiments. Even if it's only occasional, he doesn't want to experience that stench again. He must admit, that is always the biggest impediment every time he returns home. Maybe things have been too stressful these days. The young soldier begins to thank himself for taking some time off to unwind. The battle always puts people on edge, even more so when you don't know when or where war will break out, or who you can trust. He thinks to himself, it's a bit clammy. He lifts his hand to undo the first button of his shirt, seeing as how his dear officer had just declared the end of the armistice. A little disregard for protocol shouldn't matter. He thinks of the fireplace back home. A few years ago, he came home wearing a brand new military outfit, unwilling to undo even a single button despite sweating profusely from the heat of hearth. For that, the young lass surely laughed at him for quite some time. The young soldier curls the corner of his lips. this is not the Sarkaz ship. Or maybe it... I'll let the story play out. I know from time to time I say I need to be more open-minded with Avalon and its systems and what I'm thinking, but I think this is a situation where I need to stay quiet and just let the story play, because I'm assuming too many things, and I might not be hitting the mark. Instead of actually missing the mark, I think I'm taking like a nuke and I'm just nuking the target. Target destroyed. Elbow. A formal name. I'm curious. Is he saying that as in like his name isn't worthy enough? Or, sorry, his name isn't that great to be said by someone as high as Teresa? Is that what I'm getting at? Careful, soldier. So I just want to read this. A section of Londinium has been detached. Like a mobile fortress? Like an actual mobile country? As of right now, it has arrived at the designated location, parked between the main city and the Duke's encirclement. Manfred turns to look out the window. He is forced to admit that the carefully planned flames burning before his eyes are not as exhilarating as he had imagined. Reunion, okay. Or remnants of it. Nine, that's who it was, or that's her name. We talked about it last stream, but well, yeah, we did. We talked about gosh, what were we talking about? We were talking about the potential of Ager and or Seaborns possibly making it into the story and or the world of well, sorry, I shouldn't say the world. The main story of Arknights and possibly having some threat or some kind of like behind the scenes of, oh, there's a potential threat that's coming up and maybe Sarkaz might fight with the Ager or the Seaborn, however that may go, and or Reunion still somewhat being out there. Obviously, these two Reunion fighters being on screen. The remnants of it, and the girl that ended up stealing Tallulah from Rhodes Island, the girl whose name I forgot, which I now remember having it being mentioned. Nine is her name, with the red hair, and Tallulah and her and the remnants of Reunion being on the move wherever they may be, but unless this is exactly where they're at. Oh, here she is. Okay, she is here. Londinium? They're heading to Londinium now? But then again, we still don't know the, like, what time period it is here. I shouldn't say time period, because normally that means, like, years. We don't know the current time of, is this picking up from the present? Is this in the past? Here she is. Tallulah. I'm curious as to why they're heading to Londinium. 9 obviously mentioned that they're picking up people from, or remnants of Reunion and or people that are infected, but surely that's not all? Maybe there's something else? "41 minutes. Okay. I don't know what to name this. Chapter TR22. Know right from wrong. The most dangerous thing on the battlefield is not the downpour of enemy fire you'll face. It's imposters trying to win your sympathy. Allies have greatly reduced cost limit. Curious what this tutorial is. I would assume enemies? New enemies? Know right from wrong.
一気に型をつける。
Norport. That's where we're at, I believe, right? Oh no, there's allies. Oh no, okay. Oh. Okay. That's a bonus at least. Oh no. Our operators will begin to identify any unidentified civilians once they enter their attack range or become blocked among us. After some time has passed, we will be able to ascertain whether they are spies. Oh lord. Alright, he's friendly. Legitimate civilians will no longer be blocked once their identity has been confirmed. But keep in mind that only identified civilians will replenish our deployment resources once they enter our protection zone. Friendly, right? Yeah, that guy looks kinda sus. Is he a spy? You can often tell a spy from a civilian by subtle differences in their behavior. Look, we've detected signs that that one's a spy. Okay. You gonna attack him? Suspicious individuals revealed their true colors a little while after they are identified. Stop the spies. Slow it down. Yep. Add another robot. Speed up. Okay, at least they wait. They don't just immediately start walking through, and it takes time or anything of that sort. Okay.
完全勝利？そんなのどうでもいいよ。勝てればいいんだもん。
Interesting. I'm curious as to if allies will be attacked. Because if there's enemies within... See, now I'm curious. We'll obviously have to wait and see how this plays out. But I wonder if the allies can be attacked, and if they can, if they have to be checked first, and if they are confirmed to be allies, once that confirmation hits, if they can be attacked by enemies. Okay. I guess before I say this, I don't want to repeat it. Like I said, as far as events and or story chapters, when it comes to squads, we will be using event and or lore based squads, so people that we have seen on screen. So let's say we saw Amiya, or Amiya's in our party, we'll obviously use Amiya. And then if we have empty spots for, obviously if there isn't enough people to fill in the entire gap, we'll use operators that I need to get trust up. To use example, Fire Whistle, we're at 147%. Vigil, we're at, I believe, 180%. Operators like that. People we need to get trust up and or possibly unlock their modules, which we were obviously doing Siege. So for now, we haven't seen anyone. We've only seen 9, Tallulah, Teresa, and Manfred. But then again, Manfred and Teresa aren't even operators. Same thing goes for 9 and Tallulah. So it's open season, basically, what I'm saying. So we can just use operators that we need to get trust up in. Chapter 12, Section 2, Reception Party. Fine. If you're the symbol of Victoria's invincibility, our savior's here to help us. Can we get going now? Allies have greatly reduced cost limit. Relook over everything. Siege, we've already completed all the modules and we already have her at 200%. Let's think about What would benefit the squad? We have 2 healers. We have 2 vanguards. Lynn will cover the arts. Rock does arts too. We need a defender. Wind Chimes is somewhat, but she's more of a guard, but then again she is a guard and she's mainly for damage. Fire Whistle's okay for artillery. She's not too great given that she's a defender, surprisingly, but her napalm strike, her napalm skill is really good. So I think we should go with a defender. Possibly Penance, maybe. Oshiguma, no. Liskarm, 200%. Asbestos, 200%. Shalom. Aurora, 200. Vulcan, 200. Surprisingly. Although I guess that is our factory that we've been getting her in. Heavy Rain's at 184. Neural, 200. Blitz, 200. Hung, 200. Durnar, 200. We have everyone. 200 as well. Beagle, 200. Bubble, 200. Seems like Heavy Rain could be the only one. But for now, I kind of want to go for Penance, given that she is a 6-star, and we haven't used her as much. Skill 2, stops attacking, gains 50% Sanctuary. Reduces incoming physical and arts damage by the corresponding amount. 50%. Deals 110% arts damage to all nearby ground enemies every second. Barrier effect of talent 1. After deployment, immediately gains a barrier equal to 35% plus 5% max HP. When defeating an enemy, gains a barrier equal to 6. Cannot exceed. Okay. I want to keep last word on auto recovery. Yeah.
オフィスに腰を下ろしているだけでは正義をなすことはできない。それだけははっきりと理解しています。
Wind Chimes, 118. Amiya we can switch out too, I just remembered. We already have her at 200%. We can go for another guard. Scotty, no. Helliger, no. Although we could... No, it's already unlocked. Or we already completed the things. Chen we've already done. Airscape module maybe? No. Silver Ash? No. Quartz. 200% already. Swire. Arsene? No. Flint? No. Changyu. I remember. We had him. We originally had him on our lineup, but we had to switch him out for, I don't think Amiya. I think it was for someone else. But then someone else took, or Amiya took someone else's place. That took Changyu's place. Skill 2 deals 350% attack as physical damage to up to 4 enemies and causes targets affected by talent 1 to levitate, then removes levitate from all enemies with levitate. Activates talent 1 on them with 100% chance. It deals 480% attack as physical damage. Max 2 charges. Skill 1 deals 290% attack as physical damage to the target. When at maximum charges, removes all charges and deals... We'll probably switch in between. We'll level him up a little bit. He is a 6-star. He deserves it. Looks good. Looks good. Making sure everyone's skills look right. Dagda, we've already seen what her second skill looks like. I said before we'd see what her first skill looks like. Wind chimes, Lynn. Okay, seems good. Sorry for taking so long. Making sure our squad is perfectly set up for the long run, specifically. But then again, I guess we'll probably switch out some operators. Once we see other operators that we'll probably have to put in the squad. We've confirmed that a high-speed warship belonging to the Duke of Windermere was attacked by an unknown Sarkaz weapon. There were no survivors. Our preliminary conclusion is that the weapon in question is indeed the structure that briefly appeared in the skies over Londinium. Okay, so this... I'm jumping the gun. This does take place after Chapter 10, I believe. Because of what's being said about that briefly appeared in the skies over Londinium. Based on frontline evaluation from the remote observation team, the weapon's powerful mid-air suspension abilities and the efficiency of its Originium Arts generator deserve due caution. It is impossible to evaluate the Sarkaz's technological base for manufacturing large-scale armed aerial vehicles, given the information we currently have. We are in the process of gathering more intel. I'm fumbling already. However, until it has been proven that the Sarkaz possessed technological means to mass-produce such weapons, we would recommend against categorizing this target at the highest threat level for the time being, as countermeasures have already been deployed. Okay, nice. A map. This is good. So we know kind of like the scope of where everything's at. So Victoria itself is a country. Londinium is... Or, well... No, I shouldn't... Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Victera itself is an enormous country, I believe. And everything in it is obviously a state, I believe. I might be overthinking this. So Londinium is a state. County Hillock is a state that's within... Or no. No. I'm so sorry. No, Londinium is a city. Sorry, not a state. Victoria is a state that is in Terra. But then again, anything and everything that has been said in Arknights is in Terra. We don't know anything of the what's outside of Terra on the planet, assuming that the planet is called Earth, which I don't think is ever mentioned. Londinium is the city that is in Victoria. Londinium, County Hillock, and I would assume Norport is also another city in Victoria, because given that Nine said that they are close to being on the outskirts of Londinium, they're obviously within Victoria. But then again, I guess it says Norport right there. We're on the outside of Londinium. Should also be noted that Norport Borough, Londinium's old logistics district, was separated from the main body of Londinium City yesterday. Duke of Wellington, Duke of Castor, Duke of Windermere. So one of the ships of Duke of Windermere was struck, so obviously in the top right. Everyone's surrounding Londinium. The play is now docked by itself between the city and the Londinium peripheral front formed by the various dukes. We have reason to suspect that the Sarkaz are trying to convert this plate into a forward operating base, using it to support their slate of large-scale military operations in the foreseeable future. It will likely also be used as a temporary stop for that large-scale Sarkaz weapon. The current commander of the Londinium Defense Forces, Lieutenant Colonel Leteau, issued a statement claiming that Norport was accidentally separated from Londinium's main body due to technical reasons. A large number of Londinium citizens still remain on the plate, and the defense forces are preparing to launch a rescue plane for these citizens. The remote observation team has provided several photos taken on the scene. At the moment, we are not planning any large-scale operations against this plate. However, intelligence personnel believe that a series of irregular staffing transfers between the Duke of Windermere's mobile fortress and ironclad Gallivey over the last 8 hours is likely related to the situation in Norport. Stop giving me dialogue. Several analysts have pointed out that the Duke of Windermere's military claims to this plate are more radical than we previously anticipated, and the specific reasons behind this warrant a more in-depth investigation. We are monitoring the other Dukes' attitudes and subsequent actions in response to the Sarkaz attack, and will be submitting routine analysis reports at shorter intervals, awaiting further instructions. Duke of Castor, technical reasons. Okay, this name looks familiar. This person, I'm having a hard time remembering if I've seen her. Allerdale. Of course, just in case, for whatever reason, if you don't know who Allerdale is not the best friend, but more or less a childhood friend of Vina, aka Siege, from her childhood days, and was the one that locked herself inside the Size of Kings throne room, or the Mausoleum of Kings. And, well, we assume that she obviously died and or passed away due to the Steam Night and or just her being locked up in there. Trilby Asher. Country. Okay. Alright. Never mind. It is not a state. Okay. Okay, new person. Feline woman. She's got like a... It almost looked like a key, but it's a part of her bag. I thought on her right side waist. Like some kind of wand or stick. Okay, just start killing others. A little extreme, especially given that your boss said to keep them alive. Language. Excuses French. Another new person. Okay. Another member of the Glasgow gang, I believe. Call me Baird. Call me Baird. I believe Vina, aka Siege, mentioned this name. I'm trying to remember exactly what was said. I don't remember specifically, but I believe Vina said... I know for a fact she did say the name Baird, or Baird. But as far as her being a member of the Glasgow gang, I believe it was said by Vina herself. Okay, straight into the fight. Reception party.
みんな行くよー。終わったらご飯おごってあげるからね。
ビクトリアがぶっ倒してきた敵と比べたら、この雑魚ども弱すぎだろ。
Of course, we already got the details, but might as well read. Norport civilian friendly unit. Once their identity is confirmed, raises your cost limit after retreating to the protection objective. We can go like this. Check them.
眼前の風景のなんと美しいことよ。戦場となったことが口惜しいな。
想定外の状況は自己判断で対処する。とっととこの茶番劇を終わらせるぞ。
Okay, that's fine. Let him through.
たまには体を動かさねばな。
Almost there. Come on, Indra. Or, not Indra. Why am I forgetting her name? We aren't continuing until I remember her name. What's her name? It's not Hannah. it's not Hannah. Indra's name is Hannah. Oh gosh, why am I forgetting her name? I know her name, why am I forgetting it? Dagda. Oh my god. Okay.
たまには敬なりをなさず、貴様らの問題か敬なりをなさず、い思い
Oh, right
に
on
あら
time.
ず。
Wow, I thought I was gonna have to put
修行
another
し直してこい。
guard or defender operator. Enemy.
いくら必死にあがこうが逃げられはし
Alright,
ない。
Dagda. You know what to do. Next time physical damage will be taken, reduced by 50%. The attack of the next attack is increased by 180. And of course, further increase your attack, given the amount of enemies that you've defeated. Oh, a pawn being hit. Interesting.
ビクトリアのために誰を餌にするか決まった。聞いてるけど。
No, that's not good. It's fine though. Oh, he's going around. Okay, that's fine.
たまに敬なりをなさず、
Big damage.
い思いにあらず。
Another enemy.
修行し直してこい。
攻撃の許可が下りました。
Friendly.
剣を用いずとも貴様らなどやすやすと貫いてみせるわ。
たまに貴様らの問題解決、戦勝百式一足のうちにあり。
ロック18号アタックシーケンス起動。
Speed up just a tiny bit.
なんなり
She's getting stronger.
いくら必死にあがこうが逃げられはしない。
たまに敬なりをなさず、
They do some
い
decent amount of
思いに
damage.
あらず。敬なりをなさず、い思いにあらず。修行し直してこい。
Come on, check him. We could put her.
錆びれた
That's
山
fine.
も砂ぼこりもみんな
投薬開始。
Clear.
出発できます。
1.7k attack.
1、2、3、そこだ。
準備万全。すぐに立ち去れば見なかったことにできるけど。
たまには体を好きに敬なりをなさず、い思いにあらず。修行し直してこい。好きに刺し、
いくら必死にあがこうが逃げられはしない。
敬発すれば敬発すれば校長落ちるがごとく。気を収まれば集合平らかになり。
いくら必死にあがこう。
私を待ってる人たちがいるから。
いつでも行けるよ。もう目の前で仲間は死なせない。
好きに敬発すれば校長落ちるがごとく。気を収まれば集合平らかになり。
One thing I'm curious about, I didn't say, if one of those sus If one of those sus people show up and you haven't checked them, but they go through your checkpoint, does that count as a loss? Whether they are a civilian or an enemy? I'm curious about. I would assume yes, because then it makes it more harder on purpose so that you don't just go, oh, I know which ones are actually civilians and which ones are enemies. I don't actually have to check. I can just plan it out and cheat my way in a way, if you get what I mean. A boxing arena. Or a gym, I guess you could say. Cador. Okay. This is the first time I've heard of Cador, the name, and or seeing this person, so I would imagine this is our first time seeing him. Well, I'm curious, are they aware of the shard that they have that creates the catastrophe that's hanging above the ship itself? I'm curious if they're aware of that. Or, well, if they are aware of it, then maybe they're waiting to see what happens. Because it was said by the Duke of Castor and I believe her subordinate that they were trying to figure out what the ship's capable of. And or the I think the Duke of Wellington got some information about the ship and is waiting to, or thinking about how to proceed. Not those words exactly, but more or less. Delphine. A new person, obviously. And I haven't heard of the name before, so yeah, a new person. Slobber knocker. Okay, so they're all a part of Glasgow. Okay. Or Glasgow. I like Glasgow better. I would imagine it is Glasgow, but I like Glasgow better. You can call us Glasgow. I was under the assumption that it was just a short squad of like 5 people. Siege, Indra, Morgan, Dagda, and then the other member, Baird. But it seems a lot bigger now. Delphine and Cador. I'd be surprised if there was even more people a part of this gang. Heidi, how have you been? Are we picking up with what's her name? Golding? Or I think it is Golding, the teacher. To tell the truth, I haven't any idea where you have been as of late. Ever since Mr. Adams, the bookshop owner, died, I haven't been able to reach you. Last time we saw Heidi, she was on the outside walls of Londinium, on the outside. It's been a long time since I last continued our work. Forgive me, my dear friend. I never hide anything from you. But I am truly very befuddled. Yeah, Golding. Very quickly, 1 second, I just want to check stream, make sure things are going okay as far as the textures and whatnot. I believe that's what they're called, or what you refer to. 1 second. One second. Starting back in 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, so textures are still happening. Forgive me. Just 1 second. Curious as to why that's happening. One second. One more time. 1 second. Okay, I tried something. I tried raising the bit rate, which should help it, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to check in with, I'll have to rewatch stream again along this dialogue. But nonetheless, we're continuing. One hour, 46 minutes. Actually, I guess I could write this down. 1 second. Okay. We're back. We're finally back. Sorry, I should have mentioned this sooner. For those of you that have forgotten and or don't know, the person that is next to Golding, Molly, is not actually Molly and is currently one of the what would you say? I forget every time. One of the court's leaders. And by leaders, I mean, to use an example, someone like Manfred. There's Manfred, the Nachtzerer, the Vampire King, whatever his name is. And then there's a boy that looks like a lizard, but obviously is a Sarkaz, and that boy is disguised as Molly, and or someone that can disguise themselves very well when it comes to people. So this Molly right here is not the actual Molly. It's one of the courts. As far as where Molly is, we don't exactly know, but we know that she's either like in prison or something along those lines. More or less kidnapped. One second, checking stream once again. One second. How weird. Once, I think... Testing something out very quickly. Weird. Okay. Okay, sorry, we're continuing. It's gotten better. I have seen it. Okay. So, current time. Well, I mean, it was current time to begin with, but... It's just a dream. How's our wife doing? Yeah, I don't think anyone understands monster, except that it's a monster. Literally. None of us expected to see Thyrsus there. To show up in the present. Completely unannounced. No power, no malice or anything. Just showing up behind us and then striking at us. Hand holding. No, war hasn't broken out yet. War has started because of what the ship... Well, sorry. Let me reword that. Or restart that. War has started upon Sarkaz blowing up, I believe... What was the name? The Duke of Wellington, right? The Duke of Wellington's warship. The Sarkaz ship blew up the warship. And that was the mark of, well, war actually starting. So war hasn't broken out yet. Everyone is more or less waiting for something to happen. Or analyzing what's going on. So if anything, our initial plans have failed. We had to completely retreat. We'll do Ascalon.
吉報を届けられて何よりですが、こういった争い事は極力避けたいものですね。
Okay, 12:3. Chapter 12, Section 3, Benevolent Betrayal. Villains seem to always have the upper hand over the virtuous. Not because they are stronger, but because they see morality as a weapon instead of a standard. I think same thing as usual. 2 exit points. Wonderful. At least there's a midway gap. This should be easy. Literally just deploy all defenders and or, well, ground operators to be precise. So, we did see Amiya, but I believe we've only seen Amiya so far. Ascalon, Amiya, and then obviously the new Glasgow people. We'll leave Amiya out of this for now. We're not actually in any kind of fight. Oh.
変わりないわね。
Yep, same old suffering. Or Fia meta. Oh. No. We'll go for our daily factory search.
ねえ、カラオケ行く？
Very quickly, and then we'll head right back to story. Thank you, Douglas. Let's give 6 to Anton, 7 to Jai, and should be good. Well, very quickly. Max. Again. Check up on that later, off stream.
変わりないわね。
Then do our recruits very quickly. Of course, I've said this in the past, I'll repeat it again. Feel free to friend me. I have maxed out units. I believe I have Lin, Reed Alter, and I forget who the 5-star is, but they are all maxed out. My only requirement is that you have your units maxed out, and that, well, number one priority is that they're maxed out. They're not just half as, I'm not gonna say the word here. Who do we have? We have Yato Alter, which I still need to upgrade their module, sadly. But then again, I guess I do have it. And Reed Alter, obviously, with some potential up. Although, from what I remember, I don't think her talent being upgraded does anything too much. And then obviously we have Amiya at full mastery. But then again, that goes for anyone else. This is basically our lineup. My only requirement, if you friend me, is that you have all your units maxed out, level and or mastery. And if possible, you have at least one operator that others don't normally put in. So if I had to use an example, we could use Ash, for example. I don't see her too often. Like, I keep her skill 2 on. Obviously, I still need to increase her mastery. I like her skill 2. It's very powerful. If you have, like, Ash, for example, and you have mastery 3 on her skill 2 or skill 3 or whatever, just operators like that. Operators you normally wouldn't see. I guess another example would be like, you could use Dusk as an example, although she is a 5-star, but nonetheless you're required to use a 5-star. Mizuki, just random operators you normally wouldn't see. That's my only requirement. Okay, once again, Chapter 12, Section 3, Benevolent Betrayal. And we're just gonna go with the current lineup. Allerdale was basically the person that was funding the self-salvation corps and or kind of giving them, like, I don't want to say food, but more or less the funding to have munitions and whatnot, given her status. Windermere's, not Wellington. Yep, the illusion of peace is shattered, war has started. It made a noise. But it also won't become a bargaining chip in the Duke's internal strife. I'm not sure about that second option. This is an opportunity for a counteroffensive. Liches. I still want to see that. See them specifically. Accent is starting to show. Normally Indra is pretty well calmed or well kept. Again? You're leaving? There's still things worthy of our attention on that plate. Logos. Of course, Molly's supposed to send that message to us, but... well, given that she is an imposter, that message might not even get to us. She might not choose to. And I think this is part of that effect of her not sending us that message, that our lines have been not breached, but more or less monitored. Okay, Horn's here. Misery's here as well. Okay, we literally have big guns on our side for the moment. New Stark has witchcraft device. New enemy? Maybe next section. If it's dangerous everywhere in Londinium, we can evacuate the city for the time being. This might be interesting. What if we go to Norport? We go siege. Robin. Who would I... These are both really good options. Ascalon, mount to break out, misery, destroy all files. I don't think they would care about the files, but you can't be too sure. Misery, destroy all files. Logos. Okay, we literally have everyone here. We should be fine. Somewhat. Help Hornet and her team buy us some time. Seems they know us better than we ever imagined. Vice, this is where you come in. I'm not sure about Rock though. Closure, take all the wounded and non-combatants and go with them. I'm counting on you and Shining to take care of Calcit. Okay, Vampire. Amiya and Ascalon will make sure I will be safe. Brentwood. Fight starting? Yep. Here we go. Benevolent betrayal.
大丈夫です。プレッシャーなどありません。
Pretty simple.
いいよ。
Speed it up.
眼前の風景のなんと
This should be
美
pretty
しい
quick.
ことよ。
拝命した。それは命令か。
500.
たまには体を動かさねばな。
Go like this.
あまり気張る必要はなさそうだ。
Start scanning.
お前の犠牲で何かが得られるとでも。
医療支援が入ります。ロック18号、アタックシーケンス起動。
Nice. Scanning's going
月
nicely.
に指図して月戦勝百式一足のうちにあり。
Enemy. Go
報
with
酬
this.
位置につきました。
Slow it down just a tiny bit.
たまには戦勝百式一足のうちにあり。好きに敬なりをなさず意思いにあらず
Speed up.
修行し直してこい。
石を積んで目印を作っておくよ。
怪我人はいない。
好 好きに指図して敬なりをなさず、い思いにあらず、修行し直してこい。
Okay, enemy. Safe. Speed up.
何？火をつけて装填発射。
好きに敬なりをなさず、貴様らの問題解決。敬発すれば校長落ちるがごとく、気を収まれば集合平らかなり。
Speed up. Start swinging that
法典
mallet
の曖昧な部分を
that judge's
実
mallet.
践で明らかにします。
He ain't ready for it. Slow it down. See?
法律は手段であって目的じゃないわ。
私たちの故郷は私たちで守る。
Oh, he's not even in range. What about the other?
私ならその言葉はしっかり聞いて。
Mission accomplished.
Picking up for Golding. I had to, in my mind, I had to ask myself, did I miss any dialogue? Did I miss any, and by dialogue I mean, did I miss any narrator lines? I'm just reading through this, not paying any mind to the fact that maybe there's narrator lines. I need to stop missing out on those. Stop being so engrossed into the story. But we're doing fine so far. A new chatter. What, is this spoilers for you? Assuming from the emoji. Or are you just peeking in to say hello? Is that what that means? Unless there's more vampires than I thought. I thought the Nachtzer was the only one. Because so far we know that there's the Nachtzer King. I believe that's the title. Nachtzer King? Something like that? The Vampire King. And then there's Closure, that's with us. Okay, she's getting into it. She's picking up word. It was most likely because of Molly not sending the information to tell them that the lines were corrupt and they found out their bases. But of course Golding doesn't know that. Well, I mean, yeah, they're Sarkaz. Not Sarkaz mercenaries, but warriors. Go forward 300 meters and take the first left. Oh, someone said that. Hurry up, there are more ambushers on foot, on the roof. Left. We have to give it a shot. 50 meters and to your right. That assassin of yours has already taken down the commander of your pursuers. You're safe for the time being. Her name is Ascalon, is it? Impressive. Please, there's no need to fret, dear Rhodes Islanders. A few of my colleagues just touched base with Alexandrina not too long ago. Alas, it did not go too well. Is this the person that, not ambushed, but confronted, Alexandrina, who is Vina, aka Siege, on the outside of the Mausoleum of Kings, right as she exited? Is this that person? The man behind the hour door. Okay. Pretty formal attire with what seems to be like a double-barreled cannon with a what would you call it? What do you call guns with knives on the end of them attached? A bayonet. A double-barreled cannon with a bayonet. Wearing possibly some kind of baron hat. Okay. Very weird getup. I would assume right off the bat, based off the clothing, that this is some kind of like hitman and or a mercenary. But given that he's wearing like jewels and the way his I don't want to say ribbons, but those green straps are, he comes off as like a commander or like a lieutenant. But the issue that comes to mind is he's not showing his face, and he's got on quite the hat. I hope there yet remains room for our objectives to coexist. Striking a deal. An Ashen Trilby. Please send your mother my regards. Okay. Ascalon, you know anything? Currently hiding within the territory of the Duke of Gododin. Duke of Gododin. Or Gododin. Are you saying that we have some base of operations? Or a safe haven? I still don't know nothing about this person. We'll leave it. We're not gonna just call him out for being Victorian. You know Rhodes Island well. Is this some form of ally that Kaltsit has? And given that she's out of commission, he's taking action? Who do you serve, Mr. Trilby Asher? Which means you work for one of the dukes. If the Duke of Wellington saw us as a threat, Rhodes Island would already have been attacked. The Duke of Windermere's control has yet to reach Duke Gododin's territory, not by a long shot. From what I know, the Duke of Normandy is more interested in business. Most other dukes are fence sitters. You work for Castor. And we're showing you our importance right now. What is Rhodes Island worth to that part of Victoria you speak of? The size of kings. Her sword. Basically to show that something that was a myth is actually true, thus uniting the people. Even if it doesn't actually rend the catastrophe, they can use it for an amount of time to unite the people. On the lane ship. Okay, so it's nearby. Somewhat. Hines? Basically, if that happens, then that means he was either attacked, or he's currently in a fight, or he's dead. See, just like her, she has a dagger. Although I guess I did say it in our review when we did do irons. In chapter 11, part 1, we did a review. Timestamps in the description. Go watch it. Surprisingly, most I've said this before and I'll say it again. Most of the powerful Sarkaz, that is, have daggers. Like ceremonial daggers. Although Misery seems to have like a combat knife on them that project their arts. Because like with Manfred, of course he has a sword, but you see him with a dagger. Same thing goes for Hodor. What's in it for me? Deal.
撤退する前に消火活動に付き合ってよ。
It's gonna take a long time to put out the line fire on that land ship that got destroyed by the Sarkaz. The Sarkaz airship. Somewhat basic. Last map was a lot more basic than this one, but still. Stretch for a second. Get nice and cozy in our throne. Reposition ourselves. So we do have some people with us. Of course, we already have Ainz in the party. We have Amiya, Ainz, Ascalon. Siege is with us. Siege, Dagda, Indra, Morgan, who we don't own yet. Not until we progress a little further. So we gotta switch some people out. Penance. You will be switched out for Siege. Dagda we already have in the party. Changyu, you're gonna be switched out for Indra. I like Indra's first skill a lot better. And we already have arts on the team. And then Amiya. Who are we switching out for Amiya? We could switch out Jian. That's fine. Where is she? Here we are.
Hi, わかりました。
Upgrade her a little bit. Get her to 65. Or, 70.
それが必要な戦いならば、これは、はい、わかりました。
Okay. Chapter 12, Section 4. Unity is luxury. All are equal before the flames of war. Do not entrust all your hope to others and lose sight of your own strength. Allies have greatly reduced cost limit, meaning there are Among Us people here. In other words, sus people. silent. We're fully aware of what you mean. We don't need to say anything. We already agreed to the deal. There's nothing else to say. Hello, Heinz. Is this the first time we've met? Of course, Dr. Julius, referring to his amnesia. I've lost some of my memories. Part of my plan. I wish. What makes you ask that? Having a Sark has on our team. Uh-oh. Molly. Is Logos gonna see through her facade? Okay, he's... Alright, he's on it. It's good they saw her. Damasti. Same as your name, Chatter. Citizen of Avalon, I presume. Oh, that is your name. Wait. Is that you? I see. No, oh my god, okay. Avalon has been infiltrated. In-game and outside. I can't believe I didn't see that coming. Okay. Completely fooled me. Casual music. Curious, so they play it off as though they haven't disbanded, but they haven't been together for a while. We got people alive in here. That's... I don't know if that helps. A fire axe smashes through the gym's thick door and breaks open a hole, The sharp axe brushes past Bayard's hair. A few strands of her hair flutter in the air. Kador presses against the door of his body and grabs the axe, peeking through the hole back with his two hands. The man outside makes several attempts to pull the axe back in vain. The axe wobbles a few times, and after a few heavy kicking sounds on the door, the man outside finally gives up, the chaotic footsteps slowly growing quieter. Okay. Battle stations. The stage is set.
一本の釘の欠落が一国の王を殺すこともある。おらおら、かかってこいや。逃げるがいい。
Like this.
死ぬよりは腰抜けと呼ばれる方がまだマシだろうからな。
We'll get dagged down on the right side.
解明した。ビクトリアのために。
I'm gonna get Indra.
私の武器は誰にでも扱えるわけ
Get
では
that
ない。
defense down.
お前の命も終わりだ。
I'm gonna go like
あま
this.
り気張る必要はなさそうだ。
And of course, because we have 3 Glasgow gang members,
なんなりと。
let's go over it. Gang Spirit has a 30% chance of increasing attack to 150% when attacking. When deployed, this multiplier increases by 5% for every enemy defeated within the 4 adjacent tiles of a Glasgow gang member or gang operator. Max 240%. And since we have 3, this is gonna keep stacking.
おい。
剣を用いずとも貴様らなど
戦場に出たからには死ぬ覚悟を決めろ。
We'll keep
医
reloading
療
this
支援
one.
が入ります。
Speed it up a little bit. Get another healer.
怪我人はいない。
とっととこの茶番劇を終わらせるぞ。
時間は多量の薬剤を想定しました。使用開始します。
Get an arch.
配置完了。
この野郎。
Should be good just like this.
貴様の生死は私が決める。お前の命も終わりだ。
なんなり
Oh my god. Wait. I'm not paying attention. Okay, no, we're abandoning this.
いつだって挽回する手段はあるもの。
I didn't even see what happened.
怒りで我を忘れないようにね。
I can most likely guess what happened. Our dog didn't fully recover. And we'll leave it at that. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And or if our dog did fully recover, he only had a block of 1. And sadly, he didn't recover enough in time. Okay, just same lineup, speed it up. Dagda, do your thing. Get that attack bonus. And then Indra's coming out. Yep. We'll get Vigil out.
配置完了。この野郎。攻撃の許可が下りました。私の武器は誰にでも扱えるわけではない。
とっととこの茶番劇を終わらせるぞ。
Okay, block of 1. Oh, you can analyze them. Okay, so it's the area. Fortresses are going to be really vital. See, there's the enemy. Okay, someone's invisible. Let's get rid of Susura. Here.
貴様の生死は私が決める。私たちの故郷は私たちで守る。
Speed up.
いつでも行けるよ、ドクター。
She's gonna be
そろそろ
stunned
私の出番？
for 7
私
seconds,
の
I
武器
believe.
は
7 to 8
誰にで
seconds.
も扱えるわけではない。この野郎！
That's not good. I have an idea.
準備はできたか？
Come on, hit.
足元を
It
見
did.
てみなさい。
Oh, I didn't even stop it
あまり待たせないで。
though. Okay. We could put
背
it
後
in
の
here.
影には気をつけることね。
Andra's gonna die. We could put on
チェン
here.
さんの剣術
Speed
が
up.
この剣を流れています。
ビクトリアのために。
分かってるわ。今さら話し合おうだなんてちょっと遅すぎない？
こちらロック18号、敵を追跡して。
山高く打ち通し。皆さん、
何によって貴様の不義理に報いようか。
Remove Amia. There's an enemy. Lynn will take care of it. Speed it up in just a second. The other one's gonna spawn in just a second. One skill's ending. Okay.
誰かが気づく前にあなたの死体を影に沈めてあげる。
Mission accomplished.
Imposters dealt with. Avalon is safe for now. Somewhat. Even though we got infiltrated in and outside by Damatsti. How do you say it? Damatsti. Rock 18. Oh, it's closure. Okay. It's not actually Rock 18. Super bodyguard. Good gracious. Yep. Marking the start of war. Yeah, but everyone's monitoring each other. War has started, but more or less, everyone's waiting for someone to make a move. Oh, she went with them. Unless we're all here. Maybe like an aunt. But then again, Ooh. Personal assistance, but no, that's not gonna happen. That sword's never leaving her hands. Although I do want to see that cannon in action. Well, yeah, because only Sarkaz are allowed in. Or, well, more or less only Sarkaz are trusted, but even then, it's even harder if you're not a Sarkaz. An executor. Is this the real Molly, or is this the other Molly? Because we left off with Logos confronting Molly, aka Damatsty. Okay, it's not. Golding's throat has never felt this dry. The person forever looks and acts exactly the same as Molly she remembers, down to the tiniest movements. She is always frowning a little, watching every move of the mischievous children. At supper time, she would hand out bread to everyone and chastise anyone who hasn't washed their hands. Her expression is the same as ever, but for some reason, the drop of sweat dripping down Golding's back seeps into her clothes. I'd say like maybe a day or two. We? Who's we? I don't think he's talking about the Sarkaz. Specifically the court.
血のない喧嘩はつまんねえからな。
Okay. Oh. Something new from the Cleaner's collection. Purr's Gold Tooth. What is this about? There's a lot of dialogue. Kind of skim through this, see if there's anything important. It's basically telling you what happened before Norport was taken over by the so-called devils, that being the Sarkaz. Basically what things were like, what started happening. Nothing too important. No like key words, no key people being said. It's just like town folk. Unless Purr is an actual person, but who cares about Purr's Gold Tooth? Next one is unlocked on 12/7. Okay. I believe it's time. A good time, that is. And I will announce this before we actually do the outro. I will say this. Next stream, that being on Friday, November 10th, we will be on time. If anything, you know what? No, sorry, scratch that. We won't even be on time. We'll be here early. I'll be here early. Your king will arrive early. I am announcing that. Spoilers. Early announcement. How early? That's the surprise. We'll leave it at that. We will be here early, and we are gonna whip this thing out, and we're gonna get this thing cooking. We're gonna start moving quickly. Not literally, but we're gonna get to it. We're turning it to 400 degrees, and it's supposed to be at 350. But with that, it's time to end stream. It is that time. Time for King Julius to put on his gown and head to bed. YouTube, Julius Faye. Of course, you should already know that. How else would you be watching this stream and or video? Twitter, Julius Faye _ JULIUS FAE _. Post memes once a week. Give notifications. Whatever you would think a YouTuber would do. Just basic notifications. What's going on in Avalon. What's going to transpire. Information. Anything of the sort. Give me a follow. Instagram, same thing. Julius Faye _ JULIUS FAE _. Clean, edited manga panels once a week. Don't know what that is? Head over to Instagram, check it out. If you like it, like it. 2 to 3 days, simple, clean manga panels with music in the background. Don't know what that is either? Let's run it back. Instagram, Julius Faye, check it out. If you like it, and give me a follow. And last but not least, every YouTuber does it. Of course, I'm going to do it too. Avalon needs your support. And if not, Avalon surely enjoys your company. Like the video if you like the video. If you like what I do, subscribe. And with that, I believe it's time for bed. But more or less, time for our motto. Good morning, Avalon. Or in other words, good night, Avalon.